Airbnb tricked you, and I can almost guarantee that it's costing you money right now. In this video, I'm going to cover 6 settings that you've probably got set incorrectly on Airbnb. Some of them are sneakily set to ridiculous defaults by Airbnb, and some of them are hidden so well that most hosts don't even know that the settings exist. I'm so confident that every host is making at least one of these mistakes that I'm willing to make a bet. If you watch this whole video and you aren't making any of the mistakes mentioned, then comment below after the video and I'll hook you up with a free access to B&B Tribe for an entire month. Mistake number 4 is so common that I've yet to find a single host who isn't making it, and fixing it will guarantee you extra bookings. So without further ado, let's dive in. This first mistake almost bit me in the butt about a month ago because even Airbnb doesn't know how it works. It's a little section in your listing called location features. It's so well hidden that you've probably never even seen it. And this setting almost got my listing suspended about a month ago. You can get to it by going to location in your listing editor and then clicking on location features. Once you're in there, read these carefully. Each option allows you to highlight different features about your listing's location, and turning these on, if they're applicable, is super important. This setting is actually one of the main ways that Airbnb categorizes your listing. So changing it will cause your listing to show up or not show up in different searches. Airbnb has been leaning heavily into categories lately, and lots of guests are using them to search for places to stay. So if you make a mistake with the location features setting, you're going to be hidden from certain searches. But be warned, Airbnb gets tricky with these. So tricky, in fact, that I almost had my listing suspended and almost lost a $2,000 booking because of it. For one of my listings, I've checked off both beach access and lake access because the listing meets Airbnb's definitions for both. Guests can enjoy a nearby beach that's a 5-minute drive away, and guests can get to a lake using a path or a dock. However, one unsavory guest was looking to cancel only a few days out and wanted to receive a full refund. So they reached out to Airbnb and complained that our listing was misleading. According to them, we had lied in our listing settings because our property was not on the beach, nor was it directly on a lake. Now, obviously, the guest was wrong about the settings, but in an insane turn of events, Airbnb actually sided with the guest. Airbnb canceled the booking, issued a full refund, and applied 2 strikes to our listing. 1 strike for canceling a reservation, which we never agreed to, and another strike for having an inaccurate listing. Now, as you can imagine, we fought this with Airbnb. And eventually, after proving to Airbnb that we were in the right, we got them to reverse everything. Airbnb returned the money to us out of their pocket since they had already refunded the guest, and we had them remove both of the listing strikes. Had we not known exactly how these settings work and fought Airbnb on their decision, we would have been out $2,000 and had a suspended listing. So it definitely pays to know this stuff. And this brings me to the second big mistake that I see hosts make in their Airbnb settings, your cancellation policy. This is another one that Airbnb tries to trick you with that could end up costing you thousands. No matter what Airbnb says, your cancellation policy is up to you. Airbnb will encourage you to make your cancellation policy as flexible as possible. They'll say that doing this will attract more guests. The reality, though, is that most of the guests you attract with a flexible policy are going to end up canceling anyway. In most cases, you're way better off having a strict cancellation policy. And the reason for that is simple. When you set your policy to flexible, you strip yourself of your options. Whether you like it or not, guests can cancel last minute and leave you with an opening that you'll be unable to fill. On the flip side, though, if you set your policy to strict, you now have several options. You can uphold your policy right to the letter, you can do your guest a favor and issue a refund, or you can find some sort of compromise where you meet in the middle. Bottom line is that it's always better to keep your options open, and a flexible cancellation policy does exactly the opposite. Okay, now here's another setting that's really well hidden, but insanely important. This has got to be the single most impactful setting in your entire listing. And for some unknown reason, Airbnb really likes to hide it. The setting is called Good Track Record. And let me tell you, it'll save you some unwanted headaches. When you turn on Airbnb's instant book setting, it allows guests to book with you instantly without needing to reach out and message you first. Now, if you don't already have this setting turned on, I'd highly recommend it. Turning on your instant book is one of the easiest ways to instantly get more bookings, and you can still be selective over your guests with instant book turned on. Airbnb allows you to cancel up to 3 bookings per year, penalty-free, as long as you have a valid reason. So if a guest books with you instantly and you aren't comfortable with the reservation, you'll be able to cancel it as long as your reason is valid. Doing this won't negatively impact your listing in any way. So using Instant Book is a no-brainer, but that's only if you use the good track record setting correctly. Good track record is an additional option that you can toggle on once you've turned on Instant Book. Turning it on will protect you from disaster because only guests who have stayed on Airbnb without incidents or negative reviews will be able to book your listing instantly. I cannot stress enough that turning this on is a lifesaver when it comes to avoiding bad guests. Without good track record turned on, you open yourself up to bad guests booking your listing instantly. This will inevitably lead to property damage and neighbor complaints. So do yourself a favor and turn this setting on. Next, let's talk about a setting that plays a massive role in your booking conversions. This is a setting that virtually every host has set incorrectly, and that's because Airbnb makes it super confusing to adjust it. Making this one tweak can dramatically improve your search performance, and it'll also improve your conversion rate, easily landing you thousands in extra bookings. But wait, before we get to that, a quick word first about B&B Tribe. Want detailed trainings that'll help you make the most of your Airbnb? Want step-by-step walkthroughs that cover a wide range of hosting topics, perfect for beginner and advanced hosts? Do you also want to connect with hundreds of supportive hosts from all over the world? Well, look no further. B&B Tribe is our exclusive community for exactly that. B&B Tribe is for Airbnb hosts, co-hosts, and investors who are looking to take their hosting to the next level. When you join at the link in the description below, you'll get access to training, perks, group calls, and more. Plus, you'll also join an active community of fellow hosts just like you from all over the world. Whether you're brand new to short-term rentals or you're a seasoned pro, this is the community for you. So click the link in the description below to check it out and jump on board for just $49 a month. Okay, so this next setting is something that you may be familiar with called the Photo Tour. Photo Tour is something that Airbnb released about a year ago, and to put it bluntly, Photo Tour sucks. Turning it on will almost always lead to lower conversion rates on your listing, meaning that fewer guests will book your place. And the worst part is Airbnb turns this setting on for all listings automatically. When turned on, Photo Tour automatically sorts your photos and arranges them by room. So when guests are looking through your listing photos, you no longer have control over the order that photos are shown in. And this would be awesome if Airbnb actually did a good job of it and showed your best photos first. But unfortunately, that isn't the case. Airbnb just shows your photos room by room and pays no mind to which photos guests actually want to see first. This is especially detrimental to listings with a lot of awesome amenities. If you're rocking a swimming pool, hot tub, sauna, or other amenities, most guests are never gonna know about it. Simply because these amenities are in your backyard, they're gonna be shown last in the photo tour, meaning any guest that doesn't make it to your last photo is never even gonna know that you've got these amenities. So here's how to fix it. To change this setting, you've actually got to reach out to Airbnb support. Let them know that you want to have the photo tour disabled for your listing. Once they've disabled it, go in and delete all the rooms in your photo section except for the bedrooms and bathrooms. This step is critical. If you delete the bedrooms and bathrooms, the listing won't display correctly. Once you've done that, add all your other photos into the additional photo section. Then click into all photos and arrange your photos into the optimal order. Airbnb is going to prompt you to arrange your photos automatically. Select no thanks. Organize your photos so that your first 5 to 10 show the amenities that guests love most about your listing. Then arrange your photos into a sort of virtual tour through your property. But be mindful to not bore guests with 3 different photos of the same thing. Sprinkle in some mood setting shots to help guests envision themselves staying there. Then the last step is to actually adjust another setting in Airbnb that's super important. It's, once again, hidden away in the room settings. For this setting, you'll want to go back out to your listing editor. Go in and add 1 photo of each bedroom into the appropriate room. Let me be clear that all photos should go into the additional photo section except for 1 photo of each bedroom. By doing this, you can avoid reactivating Airbnb's useless photo tour, but you'll also keep the section you're listing that shows where guests will sleep. When you do this, you'll also want to specify the sleeping arrangements and amenities that are applicable to each of the bedrooms. Now, your photos will be fully optimized. Guests will see the right photos in the right place, in the right order, and they'll know the actual layout of your listing. And I can't stress enough just how important this stuff actually is for converting guests. Now, there's one more setting that you've probably gotten wrong on your Airbnb, and it literally makes it impossible for guests to find your listing in Airbnb search. It's called the booking window. This is the setting that determines how far in advance guests are able to book your place. And the long story short is that you want this set as far into the future as possible. I like to keep mine set to anywhere from 12 to 24 months. The key here is to make sure guests are actually able to find and book your listing, even when they're planning well in advance. The more options that you give your guests, the more bookings you're gonna get. And I know that a lot of hosts prefer to shorten their booking window because they think it gets them better rates, but this is simply not true. You are always better off opening dates up with high rates than blocking them off completely. That way, guests will at least have the option to book with you, even if it's at a really high rate. So how did you do? Let me know in the comments how many of these mistakes you've made on your listing. If you made it through completely unscathed, then let me know in the comments. As promised, I'll hook you up with a free month of B&B Tribe. And of course, if you want to avoid making future mistakes like these ones and get your hands on some of the industry's best training for Airbnb and all things short-term rentals, then click the link in the description below to check out B&B Tribe. Once you join, you'll get instant access to an entire library of training, plus over $4,000 worth of industry perks and an amazing community of fellow hosts. So don't wait. Click the link below and join B&B Tribe today. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.